Hi Flosstube friends, it's Liliana from I'll Be Stitching Forever. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are followers and subscribers of my channel, thank you so much for returning. And for those of you who are new, I warmly welcome you to my channel. It's been about I think it's been 2 months since my last video, and I want to thank all of you who commented, left likes, and subscribed to my channel just from that past video. That was my last video before this one, and I'm so appreciative of all of you who commented and all that. It really warms my heart. Thank you so much. The video did really well. So today is March 31st, so the last day of March, and I decided to go ahead, and it's about time I get a video out. I've had this as a fully finished project since the beginning of February. So I started this one, it's called Pink Dreams, and I started it January 1st, so the first day of the year. I started stitching this one up, and then and finished it in February. So I worked on it until I was completely done stitching it up. This is not it does not look like the original pattern, so I'll insert the original pattern here, a photo of it, so you guys can see what it looks like and what changes I did. So in the background there are 3 flamingos, and I decided not to stitch those up. So instead I added 3 butterflies, and then down below I added 3 fish. And so I just had to manipulate, change the stitches around a little bit so it could look nice, and I think I did okay. I think it came out just fine. So I made it into a pillow. That's how I decided to fully finish it. I stuffed it with polyfill. In the back here, I bought this fabric from the dollar store, my local dollar store, and I sewed it up by hand. So it's all sewed up by hand. And this is only my second pillow that I've ever made. So not too bad. I think definitely better than my first one. I think it came out better. And yeah, so I'm really happy with it. I just put my initials here and the year that I stitched it up. And that is that for my first 2025 fully finished project. I started, like I said, in January 1st, and I just kept stitching on it until I was done with it, and then I fully finished it, and that's that for this one. Really happy with the way it turned out. So the first whip that I picked up after I finished my Pink Dreams is this one here called Fabulous Fall by Design Works. It's a kit. This one I had started back in October of 2023. I'll insert a photo here of what it looked like in my last share. And this is what it looks like now. I'm still not done with it. I still have a little bit more to go. I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. I think it is looking fabulous. It's been a lot of fun working on this one. I really like it. I'll give you a closer look at the colors. Look at all those colors. Just beautiful. Oh, I'm really happy that I bought this one. I just love it. I did backstitch as I went along. So glad that I did, because I could not even imagine going back through all this and backstitching. It would, I think, drive me crazy. So what I do when I do backstitching as I go along is I do all the stitches surrounding the back stitches first, and then I go over it with the back stitching. So let's say, for instance, I do this whole flower, and then the surrounding stitches around the flower, and then I do the back stitching. I try and do it that way. Doesn't always work like that, but in other ways I'll just do like half of the flower, and then do all the stitches surrounding the back stitch, and then I do the back stitch, because otherwise if back stitching is done before the cross stitch, it will be covered, and so you don't want to do that. You want the back stitching to show completely. And yeah, I just can't imagine going back and doing all the back stitching after it's been all stitched up. That would just drive me insane. I just couldn't do it. Now with smaller projects, yes, definitely I can do it. With smaller projects, that's not a big deal at all. In fact, even with the small ones, I sometimes will do it at the end. I'll do the back stitching at the end, but with something this large, no. I think definitely works out for me to do the back stitch right after I do the stitches, right after I do the cross stitches around that area. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. So that's Fabulous Fall. So after putting down my Fabulous Fall until the next time comes around to stitch on it again, I picked up another whip. This one was the one that I was using, that I was stitching during traveling, and it's called Watering Can. I started this one in the beginning of 2023, and I finished it sometime in March. And that's how this one turned out. Really nice. Really pretty, I think. I was planning on putting this in my greenhouse. However, I think that might not be a very good idea, depending on what I do with it. If I put it on a decoration or something like that, even if I put it inside, you know, I could put it outside the door of my greenhouse, or I can put it on the inside. Either way, the sun is going to hit it. Either way, the colors are going to fade eventually over time. So, and I'm not sure. I have maybe one little spot in my greenhouse that doesn't get too much sun coming in. But even indirect light, I think, might still cause it to fade. So, and I really don't want it to fade because it looks so nice. The colors are so bright. I'll think of something else to do with it. I don't know. We'll see. I have to think about it. But it is done and ready to be fully finished. So the next item I'd like to share is called Brown Owl. This is fully finished. It's on, I stitched it on Charles Craft Fiddler's Cloth. I began stitching on this one in, let's see, December of 2023. And then I finished it this year in March. And I'm really happy with it. Now, this is not a kit. This is a pattern that I bought offline. And this one was the first one that I had to cut cloth. So I miscalculated my margins, totally screwed up on the margins. So I didn't give myself enough room. And part of it on the left has been cut off. So yeah, I did end up not stitching even more of it that I could have done so, but I was getting so tired of, boredom was kicking in on this one. So even though I absolutely am in love with the owl, I love how it looks, I just didn't want to stitch on it anymore. So down below here, there's still more of the tree. And then, of course, like I said, part of it had to be cut off because I miscalculated my margins. And so I went ahead and stitched it up anyway because I figured, you know, I would cut off the left side a little bit, not a big deal. And I'm glad I did because I couldn't imagine having to stitch on it more. Enough of the browns and grays and dark green. I just, you know, I just wanted to get it up, and it looked fine to me. I was happy with the way it is. There's also another branch that came from here, this point here, up like this. And I would not have wanted to stitch that anyway because I thought it was just gonna be too full. And I liked it like that with a little bit of space in there. So that turned out fine. And I like the way it looks, the way I finished it. I used a magnetic hanger frame from Amazon. I just bought it from Amazon. And that worked out great. Since I did mess up on my margins, I knew I wasn't going to frame it in an actual frame. Picture frame, so this worked out fine. I really like this, and I may do more like this, fully finished in this way with the magnetic hanger. I think it's nice and so easy, really easy. I did nothing with the back. It's totally exposed, doesn't matter. I'm not covering it because it's not going to be seen anyway. Yeah, and I'm really happy with it, with the way it turned out. So that is another finish for 2025, Brown Owl. I don't know if you guys are noticing, but I'm losing light. I'm losing natural light. It's getting cloudy outside. So sorry if this isn't as bright as it was when I first started. Anyway, the next one I picked up is called Set of 4 5x7 counted cross stitch picture kits. And I started on this angel here. Started her April 15th, 2024. And this is now all stitched up and ready to be fully finished eventually. So it was the first kit, first pattern, first project dealing with beads. So yeah, it was fun. I mean, I enjoyed working with beads. It was a lot of fun. It has the metallic thread. The gold metallic thread was not so easy to stitch with. It wasn't my first time stitching with it, but it certainly is a bit of a challenge to work with it. But I did it, and it was totally worth it. I just love the colors, the bright purples and violet. It's just gorgeous. So beautiful. And I love the way her face turned out. I'm always afraid that the face isn't going to turn out right. So any projects that has a face in it, I'm going to try and start with the face, because if I'm not happy with the face, forget it. The whole thing is just going to be ruined. So I need to be sure that I can get the face right. And I am so happy with this one, and it's in line to be fully finished eventually. I probably will put this one in a frame, I think, and do the same kind of thing that is shown in the image with the 4 angels. Put them all together like that. I think it'll look nice to display it that way. So yeah, this is my other finish for 2025. One of the set of 4. Okay, the next project I picked up is my Lion and Jesus. This one I had started back in, it was just a year ago. So March 29th, 2024, I started this one. It just started to rain outside. I have the window open. You might be able to hear it because I'm warm inside, so I needed the window opened. I hope that doesn't bother you guys. Also, my sun has gone away. My natural light. This is it. This is what I have now at the end of my video is rain. Okay, anyway, where was I? So I started this on Good Friday, March 29th, 2024. It is a printed kit. So it's on printed fabric. That's how it comes, with printed fabric. But it also came with this chart. This chart is so hard to see. I'm not worried about copyright because there's no way that anybody can see this and do anything with it right off of the internet, off of my video, because it is hard enough to see it even in person. The way I do it is I take a section photos of the pattern, and I pull it up on my iPad and zoom in, because that is the only way that I can see the symbols. If I had to do it just using the paper, no, I wouldn't even try it. Would not do it. Okay, so I've been working on this all of March, and this is what it's turning out to look like now. I think I've picked it up, I'm guessing here, I think I picked it up maybe a total of 3 times, because the first time I picked it up, I worked on it for quite a bit too. I think a few weeks. And the second time, this probably the same, a few weeks, and then now I've been working on it for about a little over 2 weeks. I'm almost done. I just have a little bit more to go, and then it'll be finished. So I'm really happy. Gosh, I just think it's beautiful. Just beautiful, especially with that tiny bit of color there with the eye of the lion. I just think it makes it a little bit more dramatic, you know. So really happy with it. I think I might stop working on it today. I think that'll be it. Even though I'm so close to finishing it, I'm getting a little bit burned out on it, and I am just so excited to pick something else up. So that is my Lion and Jesus. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Oh, I do not have the link for this kit. I tried to look it up. I bought it on Amazon. It is no longer on Amazon, and I'm just supposing that it's probably unavailable, and maybe that's why I can't find it. But if I find it again in the future, I will come back to my video and edit in the description box. I'll put it in. I'll add it in if I find it. So yeah, that's it for this one. So the next project I have to share is, it is a kit, and it is on printed fabric. So the fabric is printed. It is called Deep Autumn, and it's gorgeous. I think it's a beautiful image. And here is what it's looking like right now. It's hard to tell what I've stitched on because of all the colors that's on the printed fabric, but I'll tell you what I did. So I did the house here. I'm almost done with the house. I have this little bit here to go. And then I did, there's scattered stitches that, you know, I will go ahead and stitch just to finish the color. So let's say I'm focused on the house, which I was focused on getting the house. And when I come down to finishing the color, I hop around. I'll look around and see if there's any of that same symbol anywhere else on the pattern and finish off the thread. And I did some of the tree. The tree is not completely done. It's still, you know, it's a work in progress. The man is done. He's all stitched up. And the dog, that's the dog right there, and that's the man in case you can't see it. Yeah, so this is, I like working on printed fabric when I am tired of working on my counted projects. This is just something that I can do while I watch YouTube videos or watch TV, watch a movie. I take it traveling as well. Not that I don't watch YouTube videos when I do counted cross stitch, I do. But I'm not, you know, pausing and unpausing the video constantly because I need to count. But yeah, I'm having fun with this one as well. And it's good to have as a traveling one because it is on 11 count, so I can see it much easier, and it works out great for stitching in the hotel room also. So we are at the end of my video. Oops, sorry about that. We are coming at the end of the video. I'll show you here my aquarium. It's a 10-gallon aquarium. So I've got fish. They're called platies. And I've got 5 platies. And they've given me babies. So I don't know if you can see them swimming around there, but they are in there. And they're fine. I had them in a breeding box for a little while until they got old enough, big enough, that they won't possibly be eaten by the adults. So believe it or not, they were a lot tinier than that. They were really small. And when they're that tiny, like right as soon as they're born and for the first, I don't know, 2 weeks or so, they can be eaten by the parents or any other fish that might be in there. And yeah, so they're doing good. They're doing well. I'm so happy with them. You see a hanging bag there with the substrate rocks. I am in the process of changing the substrate from the white to the black because the black pebbles are smaller and easier to go in there and clean than the bigger white rocks. Plus, I can see the babies, so that way I don't mistakenly suck them up when I'm cleaning the substrate. In the bag there is, what I do is I'll scoop some out and put it in the bag, but I'll keep it in there for a little bit and then remove it because there's good bacteria in there and I don't want to do it all at once. I don't want to change the substrate all at once. I do it slowly, little by little. I take a bag out, then I'll put one of the black in there and let it, you know, acclimate to the environment. And yeah, I do it slowly because I don't want to kill off the good bacteria. So that is that. I've got a plant. I forgot what that plant is called, but it's doing really well with the aquarium water. And I've got a few plants in there. I need to get more. Okay, guys, that is it for today. I'm going to say goodbye and hope all is well with you guys and that you have a great stitching week. And I will see you next time. Bye. Bye for now.